once you've gone through that that evaluation, then what were some of the lessons that we learned, some of the challenges that we faced as we started the implementation and rolled in and got into this into the rollout and training phase that we are. A couple of the challenges: one, anybody introducing change, you're going to realize that change management is probably one of the most difficult things about anything that you're trying to introduce into your company. It's almost as important as the technical side of things. It's almost important as having the tool do what you say it's going to do. Change management, both at the user level as well as the executive level, for someone on an implementation team, just managing those expectations, it surprises you how much you really have to work at it. Managing expectations, again, some people want to be able to have, okay, we bought the tool, let's roll it out, I'm ready to have it next month. And there's some offices that wanted to have Estimator rolled out a month after we bought it and start using it. That's how important it was to them. But again, from a change management perspective, you need to be able to manage your expectations, manage the process so that you're communicating successes and you're creating success as you're going through the implementation to keep that and maintain that momentum. First, cost of the implementation. The cost of the implementation, that's something that's a challenge. It's challenging to kind of communicate that upward, get the executive level support behind it. And I think one of the surprising thing to me, and I've seen it again in 3 different deployments that we've done, is you get lots of support from the executive level for the actual licensing and for that first implementation piece. But when it comes time to deploy and train, that's when they're ready to cut the cord. And so you really have to work hard for them to understand that the rollout, the deploying, and the training is just as important as the technical piece of implementing the software. And so maintaining that, managing their expectations around that, setting them up for the cost of training and support, and how that's going to be, how that's not something that you can just flip a switch and corporate can just take a new software and roll it out on your machine and that's what you're going to start using. Trying to get them to understand that and support that is definitely a challenge. It doesn't matter what company I've been with. The timing, again, I alluded to this, the duration of the implementation. Again, it's not something that happens fast. Everybody has a day job. We have 12, 13 people on our implementation team, and it takes a long time to get things done and to get the implementation done. And so you kind of have to manage expectations around how quick the implementation itself is going to go. And maintaining momentum with your team. Everybody, like I said, everybody's working. They've got other projects that take priority. Maintaining that momentum with them, keeping them engaged, having weekly calls, showing them constant success, helping them be involved in assigning responsibilities. That's one of the key things that I think we did well here was everybody on our team had something that they were responsible for. It kept them engaged throughout the implementation piece. Another challenge is that, it's taken us a year to implement the software since we've decided to go with it. And what's difficult is keeping up with the latest innovations that are out there. It's like, wow, I didn't, why can't we have it do this? So new things are popping up all the time. Again, it's about managing expectations, but also trying to keep up with the latest and greatest technology. And then I think that one of the things that you can do to help mitigate that is team with a technology team, like for example with Beck, an organization that really is proactive and will really support the evolution of the change. So by that I mean, as we've gone through the implementation, we've seen things that we wish the software could do differently. There's different as you know, we've started off with specific goals and we've ended with some additional goals. And it's very important that you team yourself with someone who will really lay out for you as part of their vision what direction they want the software, they intend to take the software. What direction do they intend to go? For example, with Beck, the reason that we aren't rolling out a piece of a cost history management tool like a ModelLogix or something is because Beck is already, when we started this, they've committed to a cost history module that will be part of our software. And so we've kind of, from a schedule perspective, we've kind of put that cost history piece on hold, knowing that as we roll out and create the foundation of our cost database and our estimating tool, ultimately working with Beck, that's going to roll into a cost history tool that again is linked and reports through this, and it's all one system, which for us is a very significant. So I think just kind of to wrap everything up, how can you help implement change in your company? Really, the best change happens from the ground up is something that's very important. So, for example, again, some of us are part of big companies. We understand how corporate will roll out changes, and they just all of a sudden it appears on your email, and everybody's expected to use it. But the best change that I've been involved in has been like with our pre-construction leadership team making this decision. We've handled this all on our own. We've managed it all on our own. We've engaged all of the actual users from every office, and this has been a true ground-up implementation with very, very little corporate oversight, and it's gone very well and is being viewed as a success. Number two, identify the need and create consensus. Again, it's really important that you create consensus among your peers, that this is something that you need so you get backing and you get support, you get momentum for it. Create a detailed project charter, what I alluded to, or a project plan. It's very important to be able to do this, not only just to kind of outline and set goals and specific successes that you anticipate, but it's also very important just from a change management perspective and managing expectations to have something like a project charter. Focus on identifying savings and or efficiencies to be gained. So by that I mean, again, yes, there's cost incurred on licensing, potentially there's cost incurred on an implementation, on a rollout and training, but when you take a step back and you understand the efficiencies that you're trying to introduce into the everyday user, and you begin to quantify that and explain that to your everyday user as well as your executive leadership team, then that really helps, again, manage expectations and set expectations. And finally, again, teaming with an organization, a technology organization that's willing to proactively support the evolution of your change. And I think that understanding the direction that they intend on taking it and making sure that aligns with what your needs are is very important.